Based on the third installment of the best-selling book series, uneasy alliances must be formed in order to protect Bella Swan from the danger that surrounds her in the Twilight Saga, Eclipse.
Hi, I'm Taylor Lautner. You're watching Made in Hollywood. Here's a scene from our upcoming film, Eclipse.
Isabella Swan, I promise to love you every moment forever.
She's still human. The Volturi don't give second chances.
In Eclipse, one of the biggest themes is Bella has to make these choices and she has to deal with those consequences. So how is that weighing on her?
Well, it's funny because it seems like she's sort of tried to make that choice in each movie. And something happens, either like Edward says no, or like, you know, right, in this case, in Eclipse, a battle breaks out.
You have to consider the idea that I might be better for her than you are.
Edward kind of goes through something different than he normally has in the past two films. What are those feelings?
I think just the main difference is he can't just live aloof from the entire world anymore, because in committing to Bella, he's committed to her life as well, and he can't. So he's got to talk and interact with so many more people and accept so many more things.
It's sort of been like my responsibility, like just because Bella was written this way, to make sure that she matures to a point that you believe her when she says what she wants.
He becomes more of a person, and that's why more of a full person. And it's been so long since he's been a normal person, but he has to kind of catch up with all his peers. So I guess that's what he's kind of going through.
So she needs to become a woman. It needs to be like, okay, we believe her now. And I feel like enough happens like within the story to make that believable.
I'm here to warn you. If your kind come and harm him again.
What kind of conflicts would you say Jacob is facing in Eclipse?
Oh boy, a lot. He becomes very frustrated in Eclipse because he's getting so close to what he wants, and he gets extremely close. He almost feels like he's there, and then he keeps being told no over and over again. And it's a struggle. He's matured a lot, but I definitely would not want to be in his situation. It's rough.
Jacob, what are you doing?
I'm here to warn you.
She's leave now. She has a right to know.
What?
How easy was it for you guys to just get right back into your character for Eclipse?
It's actually pretty easy. I think we've been a part of these characters so long. And then, you know, we have the rest of the family to kind of help us. And so it's been pretty easy to kind of fall back into these characters.
No, it wasn't that hard at all. It's, you know, when you get with these guys and you're working with them and filming with them, you know, working out, eating, just hanging out, it's very easy to slip back your character.
It's the first time I've gotten to play a character again, and this is such a fun character to get to do that with. And you know, this time New Moon was about the drama of the Volturi and of Jane introducing them, and this was them kind of traveling to the colonies a little more low-key and getting to explore the relationship that Jane has with, you know, the different characters.
Why are you so against me becoming like you? I know the consequences of the choice you're making.
There's also this issue that Bella really wants to be a vampire, but she wants you to be the one to change her. But why is Edward against this decision?
I mean, because of, I guess he has a set of beliefs that, you know, he doesn't believe that being a vampire is living a full life. It's just, you know, he thinks it's kind of being trapped in hell. So no one else would want it. He thinks no one else should have it.
After a few decades, everyone you know will be dead.
Then her best friend is, you know, something that she's been totally blind to the entire time, and is now opening her eyes and realizing, like, I don't have to be with Edward. I'm just choosing to be with him.
Change for me, Bella. I'm in love with you.
This would offer me a much easier. She finally sees what everybody else sees in the third one. She's like, it'd be easier to be with Jacob, and he's great, but I can't.
We've been tracking the situation in Seattle for a while. Unexplained disappearances.
Leah is introduced in Eclipse, but she does kind of have some anger. Why?
Just a little. She's she's got so many reasons to be angry. She's angry at the Cullens for coming because when they arrived, we all sort of started phasing into wolves.
Killings. Someone's creating an army.
How would you say adding a woman to the pack really affects the group?
Ah, thank God. Because we're a bunch of barrel of monkeys, man.
Right,
Thank
adds a
God
little,
she's here.
yeah, adds a little sensibility to it, you know, and it just gives us a dynamic. And even though it seems like with the Twilight theme and all the stories, it's heavily rooted with strong women. I mean, you even look at the main villain, you know, she's Bryce. I mean, she's like strong and just intense.
There's some fierce.
There's some fierce,
Yeah.
females. So it's really cool. It's cool to see that. You normally don't see that. It's usually like a guy.
Edward. She found us.
We really get to see Victoria more in this film. And you were also a big fan of Twilight, so what was it like being able to really get into your character?
Well, Victoria is an extraordinarily complex character because, of course, she's a vampire, and she's one of the kinds of vampires that actually consumes human blood. But that's not just the reason why she's hunting Bella.
Set, ready, and action.
She's avenging her mate's death. James, who was her partner, her mate, died in Twilight and was killed by the Cullens, and she's been creating these plans to try to find a way to get back at the Cullens by killing Bella. And so that all comes to a head in this film.
I'll protect you, no matter what. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
She is stuck between Jacob and Edward, but really, what are those differences that she would have with Edward and with Jacob?
Well, she wouldn't have to leave any of her family behind with Jake. She doesn't have to worry about becoming a vampire. She can have a normal life, everything that Edward wants for her.
He's come to know his new self in Eclipse, and that's why he's matured quite a bit. And he may seem a little, I don't want to say it, but darker because he's struggling with a lot. But yeah, in New Moon he was going through the phase, and now he's there.
If that was reality, where there's just some guy going, what are you going to do? I'm just going to try and steal your girlfriend off you in front of your face every single time I see it. And like, what are you going to do? He's like calling him out every single scene.
And I want you to pick me instead of him.